Sunday, Italy versus Wales. We'll talk about Italy in a moment. Wales, they came second last year, but nobody's going to remember them really for coming second. I felt as if they've just slightly dropped off the levels that they were at 3, 4, 5 years ago. Everybody's looking at England. Everybody's looking at Ireland. Wales have got Ireland and England at home. So, yes, they've got to get past Italy first, but we shouldn't rule out Wales, should we, in terms of the Six Nations? But it's got to start well in Rome.
Yeah, no, Wales probably come into this as an underdog. Gatland's thinking about the Lions and everything else going on. You've got Rob Howley and Jenkins in there now, manning the ship. A change of captaincy. Warburton, did he step down? Was he pushed out? Hearsay.
Good replacement, though.
Yeah, Alan Wynne-Jones. I think maybe a lot of people would have thought he would have got the job in the first place. But Sam's done a stellar stint as captain. Wanted at the end of last year to concentrate on his own form, so stepped down as captain, which maybe didn't do himself any favours. He knew he was under pressure with Tipperick coming through, Faletau. You've got a lot of young, exciting back rows coming through over there. So he just wants to focus on his job. But Wales, I think, coming as underdogs. Some of those, elder players now, Jamie Roberts, back to the bench, something that I'm sure he probably won't be happy with. But as a team man, he'll be desperate for those boys to that have come in to go well. Jonathan Davis, some old heads in young bodies actually still in that side. Priestland, Halfpenny. Actually, Priestland's not in the squad this year, I don't think, is he? Young Williams comes in. Owen Williams from Leicester, which is interesting to see how he'll be used. So there's a lot of changes going on. So probably a reason they come into the Six Nations as an underdog. But against Italy, actually a tricky one, because Italy buoyed by confidence over their first win against South Africa, playing at home. Wales not as confident, although they had a good autumn. New captain, a few changes to personnel, injury. That's a tough game to call. It's a tough game to call. I'd like to think Wales would take it at least by 10. But if Italy get their gander up early doors, then I see no reason why they couldn't cling on to a narrow victory either.
So having made the point that it'd be great for the Six Nations to have the French back, it would also be nice to see Italy be a little bit more competitive. They've had their moments, but they tend to be sixth or at best fifth. Now somebody's got to be sixth, somebody's got to be fifth. But they've been in the tournament for a while now, haven't they? They need to step up.
Yeah, they do. I think the culture in Italy around the rugby is still very much related to having a good time, enjoying a glass of wine, a nice meal, and all those sorts of things. Certainly when you speak to any of the players that go over there and the coaches, it's a very different mindset. The Premiership and international rugby is a very professional game now. I think in Italy they're still developing their professional game, even though they've been in the Six Nations for 20 odd years. So one thing that I'd like to see, and this is slightly off-piste, is the introduction of that second tier Six Nations. So all of a sudden,
me too.
All of a sudden, those teams at the bottom that are consistently at the bottom, and over the years it's been Scotland and Italy, are suddenly really having to push to make strides, because if they don't, there's a really hungry group of tier 2, 3 nations underneath that want to come up and start impressing.
And in the World Cup in 2015, the likes of particularly Georgia, but also Romania, really sort of showed what they could do.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Portugal as a nation, certainly as sevens nations, now really developing the game. Spain developing the game through sevens, and that's now starting to creep into their 15 side as well. So, but Georgia, I think, lead the way really through those smaller nations, and would be the ones crying out for a spot in the top level of the Six Nations.
I agree. So the odds for Italy-Wales, Italy 15-4, a draw 28-1, and Wales, not surprisingly, 5-1 on. And you say Wales by 10.
Yeah, I think if they get it right, then they'll probably go through. But Italy are no walkover anymore. As long as they can get their heads in the game at home, they've got a partisan crowd. The Azzurri, they'll be singing and dancing. Hopefully the weather will be nice. We'll see a bit of expansive rugby played. But Wales, I think under Alan Wynne-Jones, a pragmatic, tough, straight-talking captain will go about his job to do nothing other than get a win. And if that's by 2 points, 3 points, it doesn't matter. But I think 10 to 12 point margin for Wales victory would be the right call.